Hi, this is Greg Ford talking to famed Hanna-Barbera storyboard artist Tony Benedict, who wrote this cartoon, Pinktails For Two. Do you remember Art Davis? He directed it.
Oh, yeah.
Art Davis directed it, and I think he directed this one pretty well. I like this one. Virgil Ross was animated.
Right,
on
Virgil
this
is a good old master.
Yeah. Both here and in String Along in Pink, in this last year of Panther production, Tony's impulse is to have the Panther work solo. This little man cameo is an exception. He uses Speedy Grow on it, and it falls on the Panther's tail.
That didn't work very well, did you think? The way it was staged, you don't quite read it as well.
Yeah, Art maybe let down on the staging there a little bit. One of the first gags in Pinktails For Two, a lot of this is done with off-screen sound, but you see him cross the street, the light changes as he gets to the curb, then there's chaos off-screen, you see, and then he pulls his tail in. At the end of it has tread marks on it and is partially flattened and everything. It was rather imaginatively drawn, actually.
Yeah, that off-screen stuff still works. Saves a lot of animation.
Yeah. Well, Frizz was very good at it, and people think, well, he's just trying to save money, but often it's much funnier that way.
Yeah, after the first 5 rounded times, they used it so much that, not in this one in particular, it got to be such of an industry shortcut that lost its luster.
Look, the Panther's tail has landed a big catch, which he has no use for. Yes, it lost its luster, but, when Frizz first started doing it, it was like, I don't know, it was a sort of a sophisticated thing to do. It was not...
We all accept it as more genius than something that was a technical error. Like those repeated backgrounds. That was a no-no until it was perceived as a gag.
Right. No one has more repeated backgrounds on pan shots than Hanna-Barbera. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
It's sort of funny. There is something to it, weirdly, artistically, but it's like you need distance to see it, I think. One thing about the films you were writing, the Pink Panthers you were writing then, that I like, was that it sort of went back to basics. It's very existential, it's like just the Panther.
Yeah, that's it. He was clear, and he didn't open his mouth, so we just used all the natural expressions and attitudes that he was already established. Just keep using it.
There's a guest star in this Pinktails For Two, that I'm not sure who drew it, because at one point a snake comes in and falls in love with the Pink Panther's tail, thinking it's another snake.
Yeah, we milk that show up, they think, later.
I think the snake is pretty good, and it reminds me of a character that Art Davis worked with a great deal called the Blue Racer. It's almost the same, but not quite. There was an earlier DePatie Frilling series, the Blue Racer, and so he's a blue snake, and he falls in love. The trick he does, he tries to make the end of the tail look threatening by drawing a face on it, an angry face.
Yeah.
But I like the way it's thought out, because he's like has a book like how to draw a head.
Yeah, those side gags. I know the Simpsons do that a lot.
Right.
It's just something written on a wall, or that adds a little something that is something to look at.
That's funny. So he has an angry head for a tail now, and
yeah, we milk that show up, they think, later. But that dog, I thought they should have dragged him into the scene with his jaws on that snake or tail. They just left it off screen.
Right. It went off screen again. But it sort of makes sense. The tail's always off. The tail can't help but be off screen half the time. Let's face it. It's bigger than CinemaScope. The tail.
Yeah, I guess it's not so much what you're doing, but how you do it.
Right. So we've seen the tail mistaken for a fire hose by a fireman. Mother bluebirds see it as a tasty pink worm to feed her whole family with, so perhaps jump rope was inevitable.
And wasn't there a puffed up hairdo?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, he ends up in the laundromat, and thinking like, well, let's clean out this tail. It's all dirty, and chooses fluff dry as his option on the. And he ends up with this like nice puffed out thing of a tail. And I noticed this is a trick that I saw earlier with Frizz Do at Warner Brothers. You have this like beautifully rendered puff, which is like obviously, an ink and paint challenge, but it travels on a held cell. So you don't have to keep on redoing the effect. The final entity attracted to the tail is a French poodle with a puffy tail, you see. So
Oh, God.
Now, me and Tony Benedict will be back for a String Along in Pink.